This session is on NEP 2020 and its relevance to curriculum design. That means, what are the directions, guidelines, requirements, aims of NEP implementation and curriculum development. You may be aware of this. NEP 2020 was approved by Union Cabinet in July 2020. The policy outlined the vision of India's new education system. The aim of NEP is to transform India's education system by 2040. So they have defined the vision. Vision is a very important statement because it generates inspiration, it motivates. The NEP National Policy 2020 envisions an India-centered education system that contribute directly to transforming our nation's sustainability into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high-quality education to all. It's very laudable, highly inspiring vision and focuses on creating a knowledge society and taking India forward. NEP, this is highly comprehensive and detailed policy document which clearly lays the roadmap and defines education for everyone from all perspectives and for each sector, maybe school education, child education, higher education, and so on. So it imbibes a deep sense of respect toward the fundamental rights, duties, and constitutional values, bonding with one's country and a conscious awareness of one's role and responsibility in the changing world. We see how noble these are. It focuses on instilling skills, values, and dispositions among public, among students that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development, and living, and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. So goal is to create global citizens through using the various educational tools, instructional methods, and so on. So if we look at the objectives of NEP 2020, now this is in fact, it is a learner-centric system. That means students become the focus. Teaching is not a one-way, it's a discussion-based. Delivering value-based education, more emphasis on value-based. Developing multidisciplinary thinkers. That means rather than having single specialization, it focuses on educating the students in multiple disciplines, developing reality aspects, looking at realistic problems, innovative style of working, discovery-oriented teaching, developing critical thinkers, decision makers. Now please see here, the focus of NEP is to imbibe the 21st century skills among our students. So policy envisions, how can this all be done? This is done by transforming higher education to contemporary and international standards, moving toward the multidisciplinary universities and colleges with more higher education institutions across India that offer a medium of instruction in local and Indian languages. Now, promoting learning and teaching in the local languages is the goal. Moving toward a more multidisciplinary undergraduate education, moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy, revamping curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support, reaffirming the integrity of faculty and institutional leadership positions, establishment of National Research Foundation. Now, please see here, the policy addresses all the limitations and deficiencies of the present system and focuses on those modern styles, modern techniques of enhancing the knowledge of the student. Now, strategies to do all this, NEP document suggests strategies and structures that have been recommended how to improve, implement, and move forward. The salient features of NEP 2020 are universalization of education from preschool to secondary school with 100% gross enrollment ratio by 2030. New pedagogical and circular curricular structure of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 covering ages 3 to 18 to bring 2 crore out of school children back to the mainstream through an open school system. Gross enrollment ratio in higher education to be raised by 50% in another 10-12 years. Multiple entry and exit options in higher education. Academic bank of credits, AB seats, facilitate transfer of credit, and so on. So we see here it's that then National Research Foundation to foster culture of research. National Education Technology Forum to provide a platform for free exchange of ideas on the use of technology in enhancing learning. Then National Assessment Center to ensure standardized assessment and evaluation. Emphasis on multilingual and Indian languages. Emphasis on quality assurance via accreditation of programs and institutions. Stress on experiential learning and developing higher order thinking skills. Kindly see here, it addresses all those issues which are relevant. Now, when we look at the curriculum as regards the NEP, so it has introduced significant changes in the curriculum design in order to achieve the objectives which I have stated earlier. These changes aim to create a more holistic, flexible, and student-centric learning experience. So we find here that NEP addresses all the issues, all the relevant issues which are there, which are necessary to train our students to become thinkers, create knowledge, to become global citizens. Now, key features of NEP that impact curriculum design are holistic integrated learning. Curriculum emphasizes learning across disciplines, integrating subjects like arts, humanities, sciences, sports, and vocational education, aiming to promote well-rounded development of students to allow them to explore their interests. Flexibility and choice. NEP introduces flexibility subject choices, allowing students to choose from a wider range of subjects and create personalized learning pathways. This shift from rigid curriculum to a more flexible one aims to cater to individual needs and learning styles. Then the emphasis on critical thinking and problem solving. NEP promote the development of critical thinking and problem skill through various pedagogical approaches, such as puzzle-based learning, experiential learning, inquiry-based learning, and collaborative learning. Then similarly, it emphasizes the reform in assessment of students, the learning of the student. The policy calls for a shift from only examinations to a more holistic assessment system, including emphasizing formative and summative assessments, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. See, so we find impact on curriculum. These features NEP require a significant transformation in curriculum design. Curriculum developers need to create flexible integrated learning material that cater to diverse learning needs and promote critical thinking, problem solving. Additionally, they need to incorporate technology effectively and develop assessment that align with the learning outcome of the curriculum. Now, that means NEP is trying to address the modern requirements in our educational system. If we look at the present education system which we are following, there are many gaps. For example, the present education scenario says teacher-centric education system. Teacher comes, delivers lectures, focus is on how the teacher delivers the lectures, focuses on finishing the syllabus, focuses on the examination. Teaching is textbook oriented, textbook and exam oriented, less emphasis real life practical problem. In our teaching and learning, we normally discuss with the students in the class what are given in the textbooks. Real life problems are not given that much attention. So, and the lab experiment that we do, they are simply experiment to verify what we have studied in the theory class. These are the verification experiments. They are not experiments where student can learn something new. For example, we give them kit. Kit culture dominates most of the lab experiments. They are given the manual, they are given the kit, and they are given certain steps, and they do it. And then they record their, observations in the lab book. But in this case, it's mainly a mechanical. Learning of students is hardly there. So lack of as a design aspect of projects. How to design things in the context of our class experiments, assignments is lacking. Similarly, student internship in industry is also limited. Though recently our Prime Minister has introduced the industrial internship, but it is the result of our NEP 2020. Earlier, there was internship used to be there, but it was very limited, mainly in the context of engineering discipline or professional disciplines. Now, no doubt, students gain a lot of theoretical knowledge, but hardly learn the skills required in the real life. So this is how we have been having. So insufficient the present education system, students are given grades and ranking compared to each other. Students become result driven. Lack of emphasis on developing higher thinking and soft skills. Hardly any sport student develop their creativity, innovative. Same type of assessment for all kind of learning for all students. That means whatever student whatever student is given, we assess him only for examination. His learning may be in terms of skills, his learning may be in terms of other attributes like behavior or attitude. We don't assess these things. See, this is why the assessment which we do, it is traditional assessment. We say everybody has to take the same exam. Like say, if we ask these animals to climb the tree, obviously monkey will be first. So here the issue is, if I want to assess the thinking skill of the students, then examination may not be appropriate. If I want to assess the team collaborative skill of the student, may not be appropriate. So NEP emphasizes that assessment need to be specific to what is to be assessed, unlike traditional assessment. And the effect of this mode of traditional teaching learning is students are not interested. Traditional education system is, as we say, is teacher-centric. Teacher will come and deliver a talk. Be quiet and write down everything I say. The opportunity for a student for self-learning are very limited or hardly any there, because they are also geared up to pass the examination that's covered in the class. NEP looks at what is happening in the emerging scenario. In this, now we are living in the internet age, changing global scenario when so many venues are available for learning. Challenges. How can students learn and best prepare for success in life as the nature of work continues to change? How can faculty members as well as institutions play a role in educating and preparing students for the future type of work and be good citizens and global players? These are the challenges, and this is what is required. This is required on the part of the institution, on the part of the faculty, to educate our students to meet the challenges of the emerging technological scenario. So NEP 2020 policy addresses all emerging issues of education 4.0 and 5.0. and lays down guidelines, suggests timelines, and propose structure to meet these challenges. Now, an important concept which participants need to appreciate are the education 4.0 and education 5.0. Now, when I say it tries to look at the education 4.0, see, technology is changing so fast. AI, robots, and so, Internet of Things, and so on. Now, the requirement of industry are also changing accordingly. So we say that in order for the students to be employable, they should be trained in the current technologies. Now, industry is going a revolution where automation has become tremendously important. We say Industry Revolution 4.0, IR 4.0, refer to the era of automation, connectivity, advanced analytics, large amount of data analysis, advanced manufacturing processes, and technology. So when the industry is undergoing these kind of transformations using technology, high-end technology, data analysis, and so on, and where the focus on enhancing productivity. Why we are doing all this? We want to increase productivity. For example, automation helps to increase productivity. This is referred to as industrial area, in the industrial revolution 4.0. So the focus in the industrial 4.0 is to high degree of automation, high degree of data analysis, high degree of manufacturing, and to enhance productivity. Now, education 4.0 refers to learning that is associated. When I say education 4.0, this means educating our students, having our curriculum, which is geared to meet the requirements, to meet the needs of the industry, of the evolving technologies, and so on. So education 4.0 refer to learning that is associated with the industrial revolution IR 4.0, that means industry requirements, and focuses on transforming the future of education to advanced technology and automation, that is through AI, robots, virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing, and so on. Thus indicating education 4.0 attempts to incorporate IR 4.0, Industrial Revolution 4.0 requirements into learning and education institutions, such as Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, gamification, and so on. So our curriculum has to be reoriented, which incorporates these technologies in order to meet the challenges of the emerging and evolving technological changes in the industry. After all, the country progresses when its industrial base progresses. And industrial base is using latest technologies. Now, Education 4.0 integrate advanced technology into learning, emphasizing practical experimentation and collaborative environments. So key features include technology integration, utilize AI, robotics, and smart technologies to enhance learning experiences. Student-centric approach shifts focus from teacher-led instruction to student-driven learning, fostering critical thinking and creativity. Inclusivity implies AI tools to make education accessible for all students, including those with disabilities. Soft skill development encourages the cultivation of interpersonal skills necessary in modern workplaces. This framework prepares students for the demands of the fourth industrial revolution. So these aspects have been incorporated in NEP 2020. That means NEP 2020 is takes into consideration all the requirements which are there of industry requirements, which are continuously changing with the technology. Now, another important thing is in Education 4.0, emphasis is on high automation, enhancing the productivity, in addition to other things. In this case, please appreciate this difference. In Education 4.0, emphasis is not there on humanized or human values. Please note this thing. If the basic difference between Education 4.0 and 5.0 is, in the case of 5.0, the emphasis is on human values as well, which was not giving adequate emphasis in 4.0. So Education 5.0 is the application of new technologies to deliver more humanized teaching with an emphasis on students' social and emotional growth as well as solutions that improve society's quality of life. That is emphasis on not on enhanced productivity but also on human values and welfare. Humans, not technology, are at the center of 5.0. In the context of Education 4.0, the main emphasis was on enhancing the production without giving due emphasis to human and social value, emotional importance of the human being. 5.0 says no, human values must be given equal or more importance to the education in order that they become good citizens and they create a society which is a harmonious society. The human or technology are at the center of education 5.0. Its goal is to specify goal that humans must attain because of a given learning experience. So value-based education becomes the aim of education. Kindly appreciate it carefully because NEP 2020 now incorporates both the essentials of education 4.0 and 5.0. Education 5.0 emphasizes the development of a well-rounded individual with not only cognitive skills but also emotional intelligence, social awareness, and ethical values. The holistic development aligned with outcome-based education. Remember, you have had attended session on outcome-based education. I had also briefly mentioned it yesterday. The outcome-based system focuses on the holistic development of the student. Holistic development means his knowledge, his skills, his behavior, his value system, and so on. And it is all a part of the OBE on holistic human centric solutions that promote well being, inclusivity, and ethical considerations. Kindly see that Education 5.0 has these features. And the top skills for this are, which I mentioned earlier, if I look at these, NEP and Education 4.0 and 5.0, then NEP and Education are powerful forces working together to revolutionize education for the 21st century India. That is, essentials of 4.0 and 5.0 have been embedded into NEP 2020. So while NEP 2020 provides a comprehensive roadmap for reforming India's education system, Education 4.0 and 5.0 embodies the technological advancement and changing learning needs of the globalized world, which are attempted to be embedded in the policies, in the formulations, in the structures of NEP 2020. So we see here NEP 2020 Education for represent a paradigm shift in education, moving towards a more flexible, personalized, and technology-driven learning environment. This collaborative approach has the potential to keep students with the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in the 21st century economy, foster innovation and entrepreneurship, leading to economic growth and development, create a more equitable and inclusive education system that caters to the needs of our students. We know that implementing online teaching has its own issues, its own problems. Everyone may not have that kind of facilities. Now, here, so the delivery of the education is not equitable. So NEP says we should fulfill these gaps. Any question, please?
So when for a NEP, if you are implementing in all the colleges, there may be a possibility of break of study, sir.
No, no, I will come to that also. I will give you an example. Now I
Okay,
am highlighting the aspects, the aspects which NEP tries to bring in and highlight to overcome the deficiencies of a traditional system.
okay,
In our traditional system, as I mentioned earlier, the emphasis on textbook and rote learning.
okay,
Now, with the changing technology issues, it has to be upgraded.
okay,
How it can be done, what should be done, this is what NEP has part of it. I will illustrate also to you that if I have to transform a, let us say, 4-year program into the NEP format, what has to be done? I will do it later on,
okay, sir. Thank you
right?
so much, sir.
So now digital education has become an integral part. Even now today, in Delhi, all schools and colleges are closed. They say online teaching. So this is because this is a part of the policy. So every institution is trying to implement that. So digital education, also known as the technology enhanced learning or e-learning, is the innovative use of digital tools and technology during teaching and learning. See, we have so many online tools. It offers education and opening to design engaging learning opportunities in the form of blended or fully online course and program. You have also been following this and doing all this. It's a part of our NEP document. Blended learning, that means combine face-to-face interaction with online activities such as flipped classroom model. Online learning provides teachers with an efficient way to deliver lessons to students using tools such as videos, PDFs, and podcasts. Kindly appreciate here. Earlier, we didn't have the facility of video multimedia now, or podcasts or internet or online teaching learning tools. Now they have been developed. Everyone have started using them. Now look at the environment also. See, in Delhi it's full of pollution today. Schools have been closed. Now does it mean we should suffer because of the natural happening, or we should continue our education like that? So if I have incorporated digital e-learning into my lessons, if I have equipped my labs with e-learning tools, then these environmental factors do not affect our learning processes or teaching mechanisms. So when I say, and now since it has the approval of the government of India, and we know it's contributing toward the better learning of the students, so we are incorporating technology with the approval of the system into a teaching learning process. Online digital education now it has become a very important part of it. It is a part of the NEP 2020. A comprehensive set of recommendations have been made by the Indian NEP documents. Now, the a recommendation for promoting online education, consequent the recent rise in epidemics and pandemics, in order to ensure preparedness with alternative modes of quality education, whenever or wherever traditional in-person mode education are not possible, has been covered in NEP. A dedicated unit for the purpose of organizing the building of digital infrastructure, digital content, and capacity building has been created by MHRD to look after e-education needs of both school and higher education. For example, when we are bringing in flexibility, then we have the portals like SOEM, we have the portals like NPTEL. Now, everything cannot be covered in the college or in the class. So, and they are available online. So, incorporating digital learning into our educational processes has been recommended in the NEP 2020. So we are saying NEP 2020 is encouraging the learning student learning through e-mode as well. So, integration of technology in education has been given immense importance because NEP aims at integrate technology into all levels of education. Even it is there now in the schools, colleges, universities. Technology in education to be used to improve teaching, learning, and evaluation using technology. Now, for example, if I want to introduce a now Delhi University, for example, has allowed or UGC has allowed two courses to be simultaneously run. No student can run it simultaneously in the physical mode. Technology becomes very important. Support teacher preparation, continuous teacher professional development. New national technology form, autonomous body, but platform for free exchange of ideas on the use of technology to improve learning, assessment, planning, and administration. So facilitate decision making in induction, national repository of data. All this is possible because technology is being or has been embedded, integrated into our education system as per the recommendation of NEP 2020. So appropriate integration of technology to all levels of education is being done to improve classroom processes, support teacher professional development, enhance educational access for disadvantaged groups, and streamline educational planning, administration, and management. So technology-based education platforms such as you know that Diksha, Swayam, and NPTEL have been have been developed and been integrated into school and higher education. See, the NPL UGC has allowed that students can take courses from NPTEL and have their credits accumulated in the form of bank. This is possible. On one hand, the government has created these platforms. On the other hand, they are encouraging students for using them to use them and have your education in a flexible mode. So higher education institutions play an active role in conducting research on disruptive technologies and creating instructional materials and courses, including online courses and cutting edge. Now, higher education institutions are being encouraged to focus on research. Now the research universities are being recommended, teaching universities are being recommended. Now the infrastructure that is required for this is being developed and mainly technology. Now, when I am using digital education, then I can have small clips, I can have educational games, I can have virtual simulation, social networking systems, programming with computer labs, and so on. Please kindly see these things are available in many of them in the open domain. When they are available, and students, whether you teach them or not, they are exposed to them. You know how students are using mobile phones, smartphones, how students are using Google, how students are using YouTube. So these things are available. They are part of the digital education. When they are available, NEP says use them, enhance them. So with digital learning, a student can engage in online classes or learn anywhere at any time. With study material available online, students can take their time to understand any topic. Through the mode of digital education, learning can be made more engaging and interactive between students and teachers. Now, mobile learning empowers learning at the point of need, enabling user to access content whenever and wherever suits them. Mobile learning content comes in a variety of forms from podcasts, videos, and apps to quizzes and full learning. Now we are also now having a class online. This is a digital learning, digital delivery of the material. Now, please see here, you as participants are located all over at different places all over India. But the technology has united us to learn from each other, and this is what is being done here. Now, NEP says NEP has incorporated this facility in its recommendations. So, however, There are some challenges in digital education: absence of human interaction, poor internet connectivity, lack of opportunity for collaborative learning, supervision of teachers, absence of hands-on learning, poor assessment examination, lack of device or digital education, lack of IT support, unequal access for all students in and out of school, and others. No, though these challenges are there, now NEP also is recommending the kind of facilities that are required, the kind of curriculum that one is required. So, student learning focus on student learning and development and lays emphasis on recognizing, identifying, fostering the unique ability of each student. Let's see here, when I have a freedom of learning whatever I want, when I have a freedom of time whenever I can do it, and the learning material is at my disposal all the 24 hours. Now, please see here how much it can encourage the student to learn at his or at her own pace. So then I may not be interested purely in mathematics. I may be interested in mathematics and let us say in medicine or in music and so on. So NEP, multidisciplinary and holistic education across the sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, and sports is being encouraged because the learning of the students will be much more. Now, for example, yesterday I had spoken to you that if I combine the psychomotor learning, cognitive learning, and affective learning, then the student remembering, student capability, retention of knowledge is enhanced because in the brain, neuron connections are enhanced in the same way. See, when I am bringing in variety of learning stuff like the multidisciplinary, when I am emphasizing on conceptual understanding, creating higher thinking skills and human value, then the student learning is also is enhanced a lot, and not only enhanced, retention is also very high. Now, keeping in mind what are the requirements of 21st century skills like analytical thinking and innovation, active learning, creativity, technology and design, complex problem solving, leadership and influence, emotional intelligence, reasoning, system analysis and evaluation. See, these are the skills which are required in the industry. These, how can skills be, these skills can be developed or enhanced among the students. Now, NEP says modify, use all those structures, use all the design your curriculum where these attributes, these qualities of students are ignited, they are enhanced, they are developed. That means NEP is trying to address all the issues which are required to create competent, good human citizens. Now, for this purpose, NEP says create a learning environment and generate student support. National Higher Education Qualification Framework has been proposed to articulate learning outcomes. Now, please see here the learning educational system has been recommended to be outcome-based education framework. Yesterday, we mentioned very briefly about it, and now on you have been must be attending these other sessions as well. And the basis of educational reforms recommended by NEP 2020 is outcome-based education system. Now, education-based system, as I mentioned yesterday, it looks at the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor capabilities, qualities, attributes of the students. And these are connected with the nature gift. This I explained it to you yesterday. So by making outcome-based education system as the basis of teaching learning, NEP is highlighting that we need to bring in those features where we can develop competent, we can enhance the knowledge and not only good citizens but global citizens. Then again, child-based credit system has been proposed. Academic, financial, and emotional support available to students has been recommended. International education facilitated. Internationalization means using curriculum with international orientation, collaborating with international education institutions. Already you know that some universities are setting up their campuses in India. UGC is in discussions and collaboration. MHRD is also involved in bringing in the best of the teaching practices in the country. It's all a part of the NEP 2020. Similarly, International Center for International Education has been set up. Now, we know that UGC, University Grants Commission, they have proposed a learning outcome-based curriculum framework. See, when NEP says outcome-based education system is our basis of developing the curriculum, then UGC has proposed learning outcome-based curriculum framework of designing a curriculum based on these lines. UGC has mandated and new education policy emphasizes that outcome-based learning be implemented at all levels in all undergraduate, postgraduate programs, maybe science, humanity, profession, and so on. So teaching courses have to be transformed to the outcome-based format termed as learning outcome-based curriculum framework. LOC is to specify what the students completing the program are expected to know, understand, and be able to do by the end of the program, which is specified via learning outcomes or learning outcome. Kindly see here why outcome-based system has been taken as the basis of our educational framework and incorporated in NEP because effectively implementing OBE can help us to attain all the objectives and fulfill the aims of NEP 2020. For example, value-based education, for example, making students self-learners, and so on. All those things can be implemented if we effectively implement outcome-based education framework, and UGC has also recommended is to design our curriculum. So flexibility in education is also one of the goals of NEP 2020. NEP has proposed setting up National Academic Credit Bank, wherein academic credits can be accumulated and freely transferred from one institution to another within a given system. Institution can also make arrangements that allow students to transfer the credit they have been awarded. Students may be able to do so as part of the study program to another offered by same institution or transfer credit when moving from one institution to another. The way student can transfer credit will be determined by the institution assessment regulation, of course. Now, please here, by introducing credit-based system and giving the flexibility to the student to study at his or at her own speed, institutions, the education system is encouraging them to follow the course of study which is best suited to them. And institutions are reorienting themselves in order to make the learning of student flexible in order that what they have learned at institution 1, the learning credit can be transferred to another institution. Now, there are certain implementation problems. That is a separate issue that we as faculty members, we as institution have to solve. But NEP recommends that. I know for example, if a student earned his credits in a small college or in the university, and he wants to go to, let us say, in IIM or IIT, they may not accept it. I know those are difficulties. The goal of NEP is to make it more flexible and allow the student the liberty to study anywhere There will be constraints, there will be difficulties, there will be challenges which we as faculty members, as institutions, have to sort out. NEP is recommending that. How much we are able to do that, that's a issue of practical implementation. Now, NEP has also recommended, in order the system to be flexible, choice-based credit system is being has been adopted. In fact, we have been following all that, but now it has become an integral part. Every institution is encouraged to use choice-based credit system. So there is a semester teaching and assessment is done semester-wise. Credit system, each course is assigned a certain number of credits. The student can earn credits according to his pace. You are all familiar with this. I am doing it for sake of completeness because when I designed the curriculum, these curriculum has to be based on these facts. Credit transfer. Credits can be transferred from one institute to another. Flexible course structure, flexibility in curriculum, choice of courses and assigning credits, continuous assessment, and so on. So, in order to implement outcome-based education system and choice-based grade system, NEP emphasizes student-centric, that is teaching learning via outcome education framework. An outcome-based education framework mandates begin with the end in mind, with the aim to develop and enhance the natural abilities of students. Yesterday, I saw that when we designed the learning outcome of the program, when we then the learning outcome, it's our responsibility what we want our students to learn. Now, NEP encourages us on that direction. How we have to do this thing depends on how we design our curriculum. Since OBE is a recommendation of NEP, flexibility is a recommendation of NEP, credit system transferability, those are the recommendations of the NEP, and they can be met by the outcome-based education framework and the choice-based credit system. Now, OBE says you decide as a first what you want students to learn. Program outcomes are the same. They are so basic philosophy of OBE approach is all students have talents. It is the job of the institute to enable the student develop it. Role of institute is to find ways for student to succeed rather than finding ways to fail. Excellence is for every student and not just a few. OBE emphasizes continuous improvement of student learning via measurements outcome. That's where NEP emphasizes. So child-based credit system are all familiar with this. I think I shall skip this thing. Then child-based provide framework and approach to implement process and practice of OBE, pedagogy and strategy of assessment, and NEP emphasizes child-based credit system. So child-based credit system help to implement basic philosophy of NEP, that is flexibility, freedom of study, then advanced learning opportunities, fulfillment of student needs and aspirations, inter-institution responsibility, quality education, and so on. So CBSE meets the recommendations of this thing. Now CBSE is also student-centric. Now being student-centric, NEP encourages us to design a uniform curriculum so that transferability is there. As per the NEP 2020 initiatives, aim is to formulate curriculum to eliminate disparities among the students studying in different universities and institutions. Movement, flexibility in terms of studying in one institution to another institution. So credit disparity is removed. CBSE is not introduced in two sense as there are credit disparity from one university to another institution. Removes the credit disparities which are burdening the student. Curriculum framework is developed which help the Board of Studies of the universities institution to develop their own scheme of teaching and evaluation as per the curriculum credit framework. Program learning outcomes. Now, Then, and sustainable development goals. These are there as a part of the curriculum which students are given. In the new curriculum, the courses would be mapped to identify their contribution towards program learning outcome, software sustainable development goals, which can turn university institutions in the accreditation and ranking. Now, in the NEP 2020, accreditation and ranking has been given importance and being made mandatory. Now, ranking is not only at the national level, but also at the international level. Now, in order to be able to participate in the ranking, one needs to carry out the various requirements which are there. And those NEP has been prepared, policy document prepared, which is fairly in parallel with the international ranking, like say flexibility, like the research, like say student grading, etc. So NEP curriculum has to be such that it enables us. Skill development courses, discipline, specific discipline, multidisciplinary courses. So when we say curriculum, NEP for curriculum development, how does the NEP contribute to the curriculum development? It is through its recommendation. For normal curriculum development for CBSE, let's say all academic programs, certificate, diploma, etc., should be updated or revised to a limited extent every year, of course, and substantially every 3 years for all undergraduate courses. Updation and revision of the curriculum is to be carried out in terms of current knowledge, national and international developments, and relevance of new ideas, concepts, and knowledge to be concerned. So faculty members would have the flexibility to develop for one or more semesters typical courses falling within their academic interests and in keeping with the thrust of the program. So NEP says follow as curriculum system, but keep these in mind. So when I say outcome-based curriculum design to meet requirements of NEP, what are the outcome-based curriculum design? Now, NEP and outcome-based curriculum, NEP recommends design of student-centric curriculum keeping in view purpose and relevance and value of the stakeholders, analyzing the needs and nature of the learners, deciding on the outcomes of learning objectives, selecting the content, the subject matter that will support achieving the outcomes, deciding on the instructional method, activities, the method and media for teaching learning, planning how assessment will be done, planning how the overall effectiveness of delivery of the curriculum will be calculated. Please remember, yesterday we saw what is a curriculum. Curriculum is not simply syllabus. Curriculum consists of syllabus, teaching learning methods, extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, and the related issues which help the student to develop his abilities, to develop his knowledge. So curriculum is not syllabus. Please remember. So when I am saying curriculum, NEP says develop your curriculum whereby it meets the goals and aims of NEP. So we need curriculum of any education system. It has to plan the education processes. So this, as we have talked earlier also, helps to ensure education and learning quality. Every student needs a good functional, effective curriculum to achieve its educational goal. This we talked yesterday. Now, in the outcome-based education system, the curriculum has to be given special attention, keeping in view recommendations of NEP. First is the what the student should achieve, how to make student achieve those outcomes, how to measure what the student has achieved, why the student cannot achieve the outcomes, and continuous improvement. That's what NEP 2020 says, that you must focus on improving the learning of the students, giving him all the required options which are relevant for his enhanced learning. So we find in OBE, when I design my curriculum based on OBE, then I have to keep in mind the goals of the student learning. So elements of outcome-based curriculum as per OB, as per NEP, we design the goals, aims, student syllabus, instructional methods, assess how the assessment is carried out, evaluation, and continuous improvement. That's how curriculum will be designed. The reason being is student learns from not from one source. Student learns from variety of sources. So the curriculum that we design need to address all elements from where the student can learn. For example, from textbook, from social interaction, from interdisciplinary connections, from online content. That's where workforce, communication skills. This is all a part of NEP 2020 and they are available in various as sources from various parts. So when we say now curriculum, the curriculum for any program and level need to have the following characteristics. It should be appropriate to the level. It should be relevant. It should be balanced, rigorous, coherent, focused, and meet the needs of the community, meet the needs of the industry. That's where the emphasis comes in. So learning outcomes we have to define beforehand, as I mentioned yesterday also. And learning outcomes refer to knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior. The curriculum that we design should foster these skills. They should embed. They should embed or they should imbibe the ethical value and foster higher thinking skills. This is what NEP says critical thinking, problem solving skills. So this becomes a part of the curriculum when we are focusing, when we are trying to effectively implement Bloom taxonomy based curriculum, which I spoke to you yesterday. So we say OBE model requires that a curriculum program be assigned according to the following structure. The admission, graduate attributes, program, these things we talked yesterday, and they take care of what NEP 2020 focuses on. That means assessment must be appropriate. That means the assignment must be appropriate, experiential learning, process-based learning, and so on. So effective implementation of curriculum help to realize program learning of the student to a maximum extent, foster higher thinking skills, creative and innovative thinking, critical analytical abilities, imbibe growth and entrepreneurial mindset, investigate and understand complex engineering problems, incorporate problem solving skills, instill autonomous and leadership qualities. Now, please here, these are part of this. Any question here, please?
My name is Pankuri Rathore and I am from Galgotias University. Sir, I wanted to ask that if the effective implementation of curriculum has been discussed in so much detail, then what is the measure of this effectiveness? How are we going to measure apart from the 2 3 years post the graduation or the post graduation outcomes of the students' career field? Then what others are the measurement?
Very good question, Pankuri. I am really pleased because the measurements which leads to the improvement. Now we we find out what student has learned as regard knowledge, as regards skill, as regards his human values or attitude, or as regards his behavior. You agree? Student learning has knowledge, skill, attitude, behavior, and competence. I want to measure these maybe after 1 year, maybe after 2 years, maybe after every semester. If I have to measure the knowledge, then I have examinations. If I want to measure his critical thinking, then this method is not appropriate. If I want to measure his innovative skills, this method is not appropriate. Then we use other methods such as we have other methods, for example, rubrics. Rubrics are deployed to measure the thinking skills of the student, the thinking skill or problem solving ability. Similarly, if I want to assess how much value student has imbibed, what kind of value he has imbibed, then again, examination is not the appropriate one. Then there are direct methods, then there are indirect methods. That is we know that feedback method. Feedback method gives us an idea about the mind of about the thinking of the student, about, and his thinking is dependent on his belief, on his value. Then we deploy methods like rubrics or feedback and so on, right? The traditional methods which we have been using are relevant only for for the knowledge or to some extent skill, but not for other attributes which we expect or which we want the student to imbibe. Is that all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Any other question, please?
Sir, good afternoon. I'm Abha Maheshwari speaking.
Please.
Sir, I'm from Manavachna Institute, Faridabad. I have one question regarding this choice-based credit system. Is that in NEP we are, encouraging student to give, more of a flexibility. However, right now, whatever curriculum we have is more of a to focus on something X, Y, Z things. Won't it result into losing the focus at the cost of flexibility? Any course.
Yes, Dr. Abha, what you are saying is correct. Issue is it's an implementation issue,
Okay.
isn't it? Now, supposing, don't you think if now I am studying in Manavrachana and tomorrow I want to go, let us say, to JP University. I have shifted my house, or my parents have gone, or I find JP has given me multidisciplinary courses which are more of my interest. I would like to shift. Don't you think this should be recommended? Now, doing this is a difficult thing, no doubt. But if the provision is there, and we can do this to, let us say, some institution can do up to 50%, 30%, so it's still better because this is helping the student to meet his natural aspirations, meet his natural goals, and so on. And sure, if you, for example, there may be institution, may college, where there is an engineering student and he want to take a course on music. And if there is no facility for music, then his talent of learning music, developing skill is gone, or he has to do it in a privately where there may clash. Now, NEP says if a student, if an individual wants to learn something, why not make it flexible? Why not give him this opportunity? This opportunity may be available in institution A, may not be available in B. Now, you also know, you must have read about few days back, UGC has allowed a student to do two courses simultaneously. That means the UGC or our statutory bodies, they are trying to implement NEP in various ways. जो इशू आपने रेज किया है, इट्स ए वेरी रेलेवेंट इशू, इट्स मोर ए स्ट्रक्चरल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन देन the than otherwise. Is that right?
Yeah, sir. If it's talk about flexibility. I think we are then talking about the versatility then of flexibility, isn't it?
No,
So
it's you are right. See, here we can differ in the language, but
okay.
we understand what it means.
Okay, okay. Because I take this more as a versatile, thing. Because as you have given the example that music, which has not been offered in one university and it's been offered in another university, so he would be more, encouraged to go into the university, which gives him, opportunity to develop his personality and his own choices, isn't it?
Very right.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Now, NEP curriculum and credit framework. Here I'll just give you a quick view of how these gel together. NEP curriculum framework, main feature of the new curriculum, there will be some repetition, please don't mind that. When we are teaching with slides, repetition takes place. So NEP repeating a main feature new curriculum framework is flexibility to move from one discipline to another, opportunity for learner to choose the courses of their interest, facilities of multiple entry and exit with undergraduate and postgraduate, undergraduate diploma, flexibility learner to move from one institution to another, flexibility to switch to alternative modes of learning, offline, online, and so on. अब देखिए, this is possible that all these are possible only if I have shared these with you. How this is possible with the choice-based credit system, how this is possible by implementing effectively outcome-based framework. So the benefits of NEP is holistic development, focus on skill development, promote flexibility and choice, inclusive and equity, technology never learn. So if these are to be realized in our classroom, in our institution, then just a look at this. Initiatives having bearing on the undergraduate education. I will not talk about undergraduate education. Now, we know that undergraduate may be of 3 years or 4 years. So, introducing holistic and multidisciplinary approach, human beings, intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, ethical, and moral. How can we do all these things unless they are part of the curriculum? Higher order thinking skills, flexible curriculum structure, undergraduate degree program of either 3 or 4 years with multiple entry and exit points, and re-entry option with appropriate certifications, such as a undergraduate certificate after completing 1 year, you know that, a undergraduate diploma after completing 2 years, bachelor degree after 3 years, and 4 year degree honors if a student completes. This is what the recommendations are. Now, it is being, I would say it's being implemented. There are reaction to this also. Now, this is something which we are not used to. It doesn't matter. But look at the philosophy. Look at the will behind these things. So these initiatives, flexibility, etc. Now I am giving you an example of a 3 year or 4 year duration undergraduate program. I'm not talking about postgraduate, etc. Now, in the new curriculum, NEP curriculum, for a 4 year undergraduate program, it should have 2 semesters per year, 8 weeks, summer and winter terms, 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, internship, apprenticeship, work-based vocational education, and training for exit in 2 or 4 semesters. Regular courses at the summer on a fast track mode, additional, and so on. Then major discipline, degree award discipline, score 50% of credits, core courses. Then minor discipline, broader understanding beyond major discipline, minimum of 12 credits. The degree will be awarded with major and minor course. Now, for example, this is the NEP curriculum recommendations. How much we are doing it, this is also important to observe. NEP curriculum, undergraduate certificate. Student who opt to exit after completion of the first year and have scored 40 credit will be awarded undergraduate certificate. In addition, they complete the one vocational course of 4 credits during summer vacation of the first year. That means students who want to do some vocational courses along with the academic courses, they have the flexibility. These students are allowed to re-enter the degree program within 3 years and complete the degree program within the stipulated period of 7 years. Now it recommends 7 years, but it's a recommendation. The institution can think of 6 years also. Students who opt to exit after completion of second year and have scored 80 credits will be awarded undergraduate diploma. If in addition they complete one vocational course of 4 credits during the summer vacation of second year, these students are allowed to re-enter within a period of 3 years and complete the degree within the maximum period of 7 years. Now, please see here, this is what are the recommendations of NEP. Now, those who want to implement, the curriculum is designed like this. So NEP recommendation for curriculum design. 3-year undergraduate degree. Students who wish to undergo a 3-year undergraduate program will be awarded undergraduate degree in the major discipline after successful completion of 3 years, securing 120 credits. 4-year undergraduate degree in the major discipline will be awarded to those who complete a 4-year degree program with 160 credits. Now, please, NEP is trying to give recommendations of how to make this uniform all over the country. Then, 4-year degree program honors research. Students who score 75 bars and above in the first 6 semesters and wish to undertake research at the undergraduate level can choose a research stream in the 4th year. They should do a research project or dissertation under the guidance of a faculty member of this university. The research project dissertation will be in the major discipline. The student who score 160 credits, including 12 credits from a research project, are awarded under honors degree. So, see, this is a framework which can help us across the, if imagine a scenario where all universities adopt this. Imagine a scenario where all universities support this. Then it becomes easier for the student to navigate from one university to another. It becomes easier for the university to get credit from the one institution, get them deposited in the credit bank, use it after some year. So this is like a roadmap of implementing flexible, student-oriented, 4-year undergraduate program, and so on. So interdisciplinary undergraduate programs, then similarly multidisciplinary undergraduate program, the credit for core courses shall be distributed among the constituent discipline subjects as to get core competence in interdiscipline. For example, degree in economics require courses in economics, statistics, and mathematics. The total credit to core courses shall be distributed so that student gets full competence in econometrics upon completion of the program. Please appreciate here, econometrics, the degree for such student will be awarded as BSc in econometrics for 3-year undergraduate program or BSc honors or BSc honors with research in econometrics for a 4-year program. So look at the way NEP is recommending to implement flexible, student-oriented curriculum in the undergraduate educational framework. Now, so it says there should be major and minor courses, there should be other relied courses, and common value courses, and final year project courses. This is a recommendation it is giving. Example, common value added courses. Kindly see, this is very important. In the new framework, value-based education has been given importance. Courses under value-added summer internship, apprenticeship, community outreach activity for all majors may be of 2 credits or as appropriate. NEP is giving the schedule for the number of credits with a view to create a uniform system all over the country. So suggested NEP curriculum framework for undergraduate is major. If it's a 3-year undergraduate, if it's a 4-year undergraduate, then minor stream, multiple stream, ability enhancement courses, skill enhancement courses, value-added courses, summer internship, research project, and so on. Kindly see here, it's a very elaborate recommendation of NEP to design the curriculum. So NEP is providing a roadmap or guideline to create an educational framework in the country where the attributes are, those attributes I mentioned earlier, can be satisfied. So here is just an example of implementation of multiple exit entry for BE BTech program. It's an undergraduate program, 4-year. They say engineering certificate, engineering diploma. So there are the recommendation for this and so on. Advanced diploma engineering, engineering degree, then engineering with single major, engineering with double major, and so on. So here, interdisciplinary engineering degree, multidisciplinary engineering degree, Kindly, these are the things which we never thought are possible. But the new education policy, by giving its recommendation, is proposing, is encouraging our education system to incorporate these flexibility in the system. And this will help us improve our things. For example, interdisciplinary engineering degree lena hai. The credit for core courses shall be distributed among the constituent disciplines subjects so as to get core competence in the interdisciplinary program. For example, a degree in artificial intelligence applied to electrical courses, electrical, computer science, and AI, the total credit to core courses shall be distributed so that students get full competence in artificial intelligence applied to electrical upon completion of the degree. Kindly see that. This is possible only because of the nature, the way technology has come up. Now, who has ever thought about 10 years back that AI will become so important? Now, there is hardly any institution in the country which doesn't give courses on AI, maybe at the undergraduate level or at the, in fact, many schools are giving these things. So, this is because then number of credit by type of course, major and minor courses, other courses, common value added courses. So this is the final research project of 12. This is for the beta. So major and minor, other courses, other courses can be all courses under a multidisciplinary ability enhancement and skill enhancement degree, maybe of 3 credits as appropriate, common value to courses under value added summer internship and so on. Please appreciate here the NEP document gives exhaustive recommendation of transforming the education system of our country into the modern and future looking educational system, and which can takes care of education 4.0 and education 5.0 and the evolving technology. No one knows what's going to happen after 5 years, after 10 years, after 20 years. Things will be so different. Our education curriculum has to be kept updated with that. So the NEP makes those recommendations, provides guidelines, and so on. And this is okay. How about the teachers? Teachers have also to evolve. Teachers have also to evolve. Please note this thing. Teacher's role under NEP 2020. Teacher has to be a leader. He has to be a problem solver. He has to be a media savvy. He has to be a relation builder. He has to be very good communicator. He has to be a skilled mathematician. He has to be capable technology user because technology is being embedded into. He has to be creative and innovative thinker. So this is what the teacher has to prepare itself. Now, in fact, NEP makes recommendation for qualified teachers also. I am just giving you like a flash of what kind of teachers are expected to meet, to design the curriculum which meets the needs of NEP 2020. It is just he has to be a critical thinker, he has to be multilingual, he has to be knowledgeable, and so on. What system manager? So with this, I come to the end of this session with this specially request, learning is my goal. Thanks for your kind attention and participation. Questions, comments, suggestions, please. Yes, please. Any questions? We discuss questions.
So pertaining to the NEP, so what is its, since it has so many multiple exit points, so what is its relevance in the global market? How are we going to equate it over there?
Now, see, in global market, look, supposing my student wants he wants to be a job in Google, market, है ना? Or he wants a job, or he is trying for a job in McKinsey. Now, each of the global market means we generally go for jobs, we go for education, we go for training and so on. Let's take the case of the job. Now, what kind of jobs they have, what kind of expertise they want, what kind of knowledge they want, what kind of skill they want, what kind of human being they want. Because now, if you read the advertisement, they are very specific. They specify human knowledge, not only human knowledge, but other attributes like lifelong skills. If I have to get a job like this, I must be aware of those things. How can I aware of those things? I am a student. I am first years. After 4 years, whatever I was taught in my college or in school or in the university, if my university teachers consider those things which they require it, and I learn that, I will be able to join there. I will be able to come there. As a teacher, I can go and teach there. That's what become a global. Because I have the same, you will recall teaching why they have implemented outcome-based education system by NBA for the last 15 years. Because OBE is that tier one engineering teachers will know this thing. Tier one student can get a job anywhere in the world who are implementing outcome-based education system. Now, if outcome-based education system does not incorporate the Education 4 and Education 5.0 requirements, which are also part of NEP, he cannot get and go and work anywhere. So, in order to be able to have that facility, the student has to be trained like that. That's where all these things come, and it enables a student to go and accept a job anywhere in the world.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other question, please? No, I'm aware of the constraints. I'm saying use the word constraints of NEP. NEP is an ideal document. There are many constraints, practical constraints, implementation constraints. The efforts are being to implement them as much as possible within our framework. Because India is a very diverse country. It has so many different aspects in the same university even. But we need to have some light of talking about things which help us to face the future upcoming challenges. And Education 4.0 and 5.0, about which I mentioned briefly, brings out those things. And they are all incorporated into the policy document, not in this form. When I say flexible, learn anywhere, this is their part of the human values. This is part of NEP 5.0, sorry, Education 4.0 and 5.0. I have tried to give you a introduction how NEP has incorporated in its document the present, upcoming, and future needs, requirements of the curriculum in order to make our students good citizens, good human beings, good citizens, and global netizens.